beautiful 20th of October 2022. With me in the studio, as usual, to review the newspapers is Eze, and he begins on the business notes this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Like always, we'll start with Business Day newspaper, and we'll start with issues surrounding the rising case of flooding across different states in the country. But we'll look at it financially. Floods raise questions over Nigeria's ecological fund. According to the newspaper here, it says that the development has turned the spotlight on the country's ecological fund, a frontline response fund established to provide landy resources for victims. So what are we using the money for?
Even before the victims, even before
it happens,
there were funds to cater for all of this kind of.
So where is the fund?
The question:
what did we use it for?
Yes, exactly. What were the funds for the ecological this thing used for? And we are still having issues ecologically.
This is a very big question that those in authority has to provide answers to.
There is the climate change there. Now flood has entered into it.
Obviously, part of the excuse with regards to the flood is climate change. Not just climate change. The story about the dam has also emerged so far. But that being the case, the report from the newspaper, Business Day newspaper to be specific, says there were provisions for ecological funds. So how did we use this fund?
And we are still having issues with the same ecological reasons why these funds were released. All right,
you go to page 30 of Business Day newspaper. Let's look at the startup bill that was signed yesterday by the president. Key highlights of startup act signed by President Buhari yesterday. I think it was a good one yesterday. According to report, it shows that when we look at that startup act that was signed by the president yesterday, when you compare it with some other countries, obviously it's not a bad one. I took my time to look at the maybe later today you get, if you're following us live on Facebook, you get to see details to that report. Already is on our website, you can go read it up there, but I'm talking about the comparison. When you look at some other countries, obviously it's one of the best, and we must commend them for putting that in place. But the only concern I have is the implementation of most of these acts.
Exactly.
It is very important. The implementation of these acts are of essence. It's not just signing the act, it's about implementing it. But I'm happy it's not just the government. I know NIDA is involved. The Ministry of Science and Technology, where Professor Issa Pantami is heading, is there, and some other, I think, private sectors are also involved to make sure that things goes well in regards to that. So for startups, it's important that you go read up that story. You can go to our website at www.brusselsradio.com. You get details to that story. Away from that, IMF advises Nigeria others on monetary tightening. If we are to tighten, what are we going to use? I don't know. In fact, we need to guard it very well.
We need to use
hold it like
iron chain.
Is it super glue or aradite? Which one?
Uhu.
Which one is uhu? Please explain. I don't understand.
That one is stronger than every other one. That one, once it gets hold of what you want, we'll use it.
How is it like? Can you? I've not heard about it before. I'm just hearing it for the first time.
No, don't worry. So that you don't go and start applying it to your finance, and it will affect me at the end of the day.
IMF advises Nigeria orders on monetary tightening. That is why we are asking what are we going to use to tighten. Obviously, I'm sure IMF will also give suggestions as to how this can be done. Page 2.
I hope they will not want to increase the interest rate again all in the name of trying to tighten.
No, the monetary policy rate, the MPR, I'm not sure they are going to increase it. 15 point something is already high. Although you predicted 20 point something, I remember.
Yes, you are seeing they are advising them for tightening. They might come up with, they say, because we want to still curb inflation, we want to do this.
No. Already this year we've done that like 3 times. Is it 3 times? If I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 times we've done this year.
Okay.
3 times or thereabout. Page 2 of Business Day newspaper. Away from that story, banks cut PTA without clear CBN directive. I'm sure CBN is coming. I know them; they are coming. Banks cut PTA without clear CBN directive. Yesterday, the president talked about some committees in the House of Assemblies, signing the appropriation bill without his notice, and now CBN, they are saying banks are cutting them off in terms of page 30 of Business Day newspaper is where those stories are coming from, and that is much we can take from Business Day.
All right, moving straight to the Leadership newspaper this morning. On the boldly reading headline, we have brain drain in health sector worsens. Nigeria, how has one doctor to 10,000 patients, says NIPSS. Wow, that can be very draining mentally. Page 4 of the Leadership newspaper, and there are 4 issues pointed out on this particular story. You may want to get a copy of the newspaper to go through it. Page 4 of the Leadership newspaper is where you would go to. Moving away from that story, fuel scarcity lingers in Abuja despite 146 truckloads delivery. Why is that? You want to get more details to that story? Page 34 of the Leadership newspaper. Away from that story, 2023, if I'm not in PDP, I would work for Obi. This is coming from Governor Autumn. Wow. Okay.
All the Wike camps are just making statements. 2 days ago, it was Wike endorsing Sanwo-Olu of APC, and now Autumn indirectly. If you, I listened to him yesterday. Obviously, he's rooting for this man.
Well, they know the truth will not hide itself. Page,
I just pity PDP. That's just my own, because they are the ones at the receiving end of all of this.
They refuse to clean up their home, so whatever rodents and everything can creep in when there are deaths all over the place. Page 36 of the Leadership newspaper is where you get more details to that story. Let's talk about APC. It says, finally, APC takes charge of Presidential Campaign Council, releases fresh list. Okay, a few days ago they said they're going to release the list, and then today on the newspapers we're having that the list is out, a fresh one. Page 7 of the Leadership newspaper.
The inauguration comes up on Friday, right? So let's see.
Okay, and then 7 months to go. Federal government attempts to write Buhari's records. Let me not say anything before a spokesman will come and attack me in the studio here. Page 6 of the Leadership newspaper is where more details to that story. And finally, gunmen kill policeman, 22 others raise 50 houses in Benue. When are we going to come out of this kind of menace? Page 14 of the Leadership newspaper has more details to that story.
All right, let's move straight to the Guardian newspaper. Youth hold hashtag NSAS memorial in Lagos as Buhari signs startup bill. we've talked about the startup bill.
Yeah.
I'm only concerned with the NSAS memorial that will be happening in Lagos today. I've seen a couple of celebrities make tweets. Yesterday was Folari Falana, who rolled out the arrangement. And yesterday too, I saw a tweet from 𝐎𝐜𝐭𝐫, who, all based on anger and stuff like that. And this morning, as at this time, it shows that couple of policemen were seen around the toll gate as at now. But with regards to the march, I'm yet to get confirmation with that. But it seems nothing is happening currently. Okay, but I want to ask, holding a memorial, does it solve the problem?
One of the ways to actually tackle an issue is history. If you do not know where you are coming from, where you are, you might not appreciate it. And if you don't appreciate where you are coming from and where you are, it might be difficult for you to get to where you're going. Now, these memorials that, like this question here, the memorial is going to help put the vision of what these people are fighting for. They are fighting for a fair governance. They're fighting for true and right governance. And so if they don't remember, just like our national anthem has a line, it says, the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. Now imagine singing that anthem on a daily basis. Naturally it puts something in your head that, oh, there are people who have fought for us to have Nigeria, so we mustn't let this vision go down. The same thing with this memorial. There are people who risk their lives in speaking out for a fair governance, and so if they forget those kind of things, man, they know that nobody is making a headway.
Do you think the government recognizes that? Do you think they even care about the memorial? Do you think they are moved?
The memorial is not for the government, it's for the people. The government are already there. The people are the ones feeling this pain. So they need to continue reminding themselves that we have a target. We have where we are going.
The target is to get across to the government, and then the government do the needful.
They already know. See, they already know that the government, the present government, is not giving them what they want. So they are asking for a change.
So how will the change come?
Good. It will come from all of when they gather together and bring out, say, this is what we want, and they keep fighting. My people used to say that if you put plenty grasshoppers in the pot, together with those their tiny legs, they can remove the cover of a pot. The same thing with all of these things. By the time we are all coming together with our little energy, we can spark up a very bright light.
That is why I asked if those in authority are moved, because they are the ones to effect the change.
No, it's not them. It's the people that make decision.
Are the people the ones to go to Abuja and make decisions? Are they the ones to go to House of Assemblies?
Every 4 years we make decisions of who is to lead us. And so we have another era of decision making coming up. So all of these memorials should not just be to remember those who died in the NSAS protest. It's also to remember why we actually came out, which is to get the right persons into governance.
Okay, for whatever you want to do today, just be careful out there. That's just my message for you. Let's look at some other stories from the Guardian newspaper quickly. FG directs mobile network operators to reverse 10% upward tariff hike. FG directs mobile network operators to reverse 10% upward tariff hike. I wonder why they've insisted on hiking the tariff. I remember the government wanted to do an increment. I also remember that the Minister of Digital Communications, Sisa Pantami, he stepped in, and at the end of the day, the government decided not to go that route again, if you remember that story. And now, why are the mobile network operators deciding to do an 10% upward tariff hike?
Remember that you were the one that was asking me when that story came up the other time, that are they not part of the country where there is increase in the cost of production, where we have increase in diesel running and some of them not running as so all of these things are factors that are affecting them,
and all of these things are what the government looked at and said, oh, we wanted to do a hike in taxation for you, but because of these issues we are stepping down. Now we also expect them to reciprocate the same to the end users.
But then if the government is saying that they should not do, did the government put in place infrastructures to make them run their businesses without much cost?
Now you remember the same the mobile operators, the government, they want to increase. The mobile operators said no. Now the mobile operators wants to increase, but we the end users are saying continue.
The challenge that time was
we need to balance it too.
If the government, the what they were fighting for is multiple taxation. Like you are charging us for this, these people are charging us for this. At the end of the day, how much are we making from this product?
So in essence, what you are trying to tell me is that the government, if they decide tomorrow to say, okay, fine, since you people have decided to increase, okay, fine, let's also take our own cut from there.
You see that there will still be another increase.
So I think we need to be fair. We need to balance it. Why is the government doing that? Is it not for us? If the government decides to, okay, it's for us.
Well,
look at the case. Look at the case of carbonated drinks. The drinks that are sold at 100 naira before now, they've started 120. Hope you know the smaller bottles. And what is the reason? The 5% VAT or so on carbonated drinks. Hope I'm right.
And then the minister
is their reason.
Health too.
That is their reason.
Okay.
Now, what if the government says, okay, fine, we are removing the 5% VAT for you people to continue at the rate of 100 naira?
With the economic situation, they are helping the people.
Now, what if the government happens to do that and the producers of carbonated drinks says, no, we are not removing any, it will be at 120, despite the fact that government has done their part?
Then we need to look at the cost of production.
You see, that is the issue we used to have. Okay, you didn't even consider the government as to reasons why they want to increase the tax. You didn't consider that.
They gave us reasons on health.
But when is the case of the producers, you now remember so many factors.
Because the government have made business in the country not easy to run.
We need to tell ourselves the truth. Are you telling me across the globe are we not seeing some other things happen?
Oh, we are beginning to measure.
No, now since you want to measure it that way, you want to tell me that we have these are not in play. And I also tell you that in other parts of the world, COVID-19 is part of the issue, and some other economic issues that is affecting the world currently.
Prof,
so if you look at that, you also consider the government.
If raw material increases in price, then final product will also increase in price.
And of course, the government also needs to increase.
Oh.
It's as simple as that.
Very beautiful. No problem.
We need to balance our judgment. That is my own.
No problem.
That's just where I'm heading.
No problem.
Okay? That is much we can take from... Okay, Kano IPOB expresses concern over silence of Southeast governors and political leaders. They need to, because these Southeast governors, I don't know, sometimes, I will be sincere this morning, sometimes I don't understand them.
No problem.
Sometimes I kind of don't understand them, because there are issues I want to see them step out with their bold chest and say, this is my stand, this is where I stand on this issue. But you won't see them say anything. They will just say,
they are still under the employment of the federal government.
So
be very careful.
Oh, the likes of 𝐍𝐞𝐰 and all of them that has been talking. What has happened to them?
All fingers are not equal.
Okay, all fingers are not equal. What's the difference between them and those ones talking?
The closer you are to the light, the brighter your face shines. And then the ones that are farther from the light, they might not be as bright.
You see Samuel Otom, how he has been voicing for a long time.
they have
You
all of those people.
that of Ondo Akorodolu, you've had him always voice out. If you don't, I need arms. These are the things. These are actions. You see a governor.
That's what I am telling you. Now, if you see a young boy telling a soldier, I will deal with you. What will come to your mind? Will you tell me that this guy must have a senior military officer at his back?
So what is
the same thing with all these governors?
No.
All man is voicing according to the power that is behind.
Which power? Which power?
No person gets to that place without.
Apostle, there is one thing I've learned in life.
Okay.
I don't know. Sorry, I have to take it this way, but
No
there's
problem.
one thing I've realized. Sometimes, as a man, there is a point you get in life and they say they fear death again.
Sure.
They will say all die and die.
Yes.
Understand? But when you have all the skeletons in your cupboard, it limits what you can do.
There is a part of the skeleton. Somebody can still have skeleton in the cupboard and have a mighty man.
That is a kind of skeleton
battle at the back and still be voicing.
I know.
There is a part of a clear conscience that I don't have anything I'm hiding. That one too. But then that one has a limit. But then when you this is government we are talking about.
Some time ago, I don't know who I was discussing with. We talked about a family where the wife is the breadwinner, and there are things the wife will do, there are things that will happen, and the husband wants to talk. And you remember that
not be me the wheat bread.
If I talk this thing finish,
probably it's the butter of the bread.
I don't know. But I don't know, I'm just saying. But the end of it is that I expect the Southeast governors to be more active. That's my point. I expect them. There are issues that will come up. Yes, I know politics is involved. You need to be careful of what you say. But there are things that will happen, man. You just have to you say your mind. We want to see you talk. We want to see you act.
Yes, sure. There is a part of
that
the
is what
conscience.
makes me believe makes the citizenry believe in you, believe that you can do this.
Yeah, sure.
That is why they voted for you to be in office. I know when national issues comes up, it seems like you are sitting on the fence.
Well, and if you look at them,
I'm not saying everybody will be like the likes of 𝐍𝐞𝐰 that talks and talk. No, because I know to some extent he also kind of crosses the boundary.
Another factor too you should look at the what's English I'm going to use there, like their the number of years they have spent to. A senior citizen can easily say something because he has spent a number of years in a place, but then the one who's just maybe at the mid of his career might want to be very careful so that he would, if there is a kick out, he wouldn't be affected badly. Some of these people you are mentioning their names or who are doing this thing, they have been in the office for a very long time, so they know the in and out, they know people, they know themselves, so it's just like it's easy for them to relate with themselves. But then somebody who's just coming into the system would want to be careful so he wouldn't get hot.
All right, we can take one more newspaper, I think.
Okay, for today, the last newspaper we would be taking is the Punch newspaper this morning. And if you see the picture on the front page of the Punch newspaper, you see NEMA trains corps members in disaster management.
Yeah, I think this is where we need the services of these corps. It's a right move. It's a right move. Yeah, the right move. But it's a sad one. Okay, maybe later today the pictures will drop on our Facebook page as to what is happening, especially Bayelsa. I think Bayelsa is the most affected currently.
Yeah.
Bayelsa. Yeah.
I think
𝐿𝐭𝐫 is also, but I think it's Bayelsa.
Bayelsa and 𝐿𝐭𝐫,
yeah, two of them.
And then Anambra too. Page 26 of the Punch newspaper has more details to that story. And on PDP crisis, aggrieved NWC members protest exclusion from presidential campaigns. PDP.
Very tough time for the ruling party. I'm sorry, the opposition party. Very difficult time for them.
Well, page 2 is where you get more details to the story of the PDP crisis. And then we have flawed 4,885 Ogun houses submerged. Federal government absorbs Cameroon. Page 24 of the Punch newspaper. 𝐶𝐫 drags 𝐑𝐞𝐰 to court over Obajana ownership.
I thought the case they've settled it.
Settled?
Yeah, a few days ago we saw the picture of Yahya Bello, the governor of Kogi State, and Alhaji Dangote. Both of them shaking hands, and I felt the case has been settled in house.
Shaking hands doesn't mean that the case is settled. Men can shake hands as is a normal thing.
No, it was in a meeting. So obviously, if after a meeting, and there is that gesture of fine, we are in good terms. They
are public figures, and whatever they do has meanings to it. So you can comport yourself even in the midst of a heat of an argument.
But if a meeting should end in store, obviously we'll get to know. But I wonder why 𝐶𝐫 is fighting the whole cement manufacturers.
Maybe they need money, and probably
election is close.
They need money to do so many things in their state, and they are seeing that we have land and money is not coming from this. We are not maybe we are not benefiting anything from this company, so let's get the land back if they can give us something. All right, page 17 is where you get more details to that story. Alaba market traders and hoodlums clash. One feared dead. Yesterday was not a very funny situation in the Alaba International Market.
Not a funny one. Not a funny one at all. Not a funny one. The details of that story. Okay, maybe the newspaper will talk better, but it's a sad one. It has been reoccurring. Sometimes they say there is a stage where you push me to the wall and I can't take it again. I just have to. But I also say that for whatever, it doesn't mean you take laws into your hands. Understand?
No. See, it's not laws into your hand. If somebody wants to hit you with a machete and you use an iron
machete is not involved here. Machete is not involved here.
We're talking about pushing to the wall.
Pushing to the wall in terms of
somebody coming to attack you and you'll be saying
no. You need to get it right. Pushing to the wall in terms of
they have been maltreating them.
In terms of
sometimes they will just come lock their places for no reasons. And then some other times
they levies, right?
Apart from levies, some other times they will say you have to support this particular thing.
No, because calm down.
This particular one, I'm sure it is because of supporting of a particular person.
What we are talking about was violence involved.
In the what?
In that resulted to what happened yesterday.
I was not there, so I never can tell. But then
the agitation is not that. The agitation is not that they are beating us. It's not that they are killing us. The agitation is that the levies are too much.
Okay.
Right? And I'm saying that it doesn't mean we take laws into our hands. There are authorities, there are right thing to do. I believe the market, they have a chairman. Yesterday, properties were lost. Scores of people were injured.
What if they have made complaints
to the authorities
and the authorities are
not doing? You asked a question that deserves an answer. We will now be asking what must have made these people to go this way.
Of course, for people to come out to protest,
I don't know if it means that. But we also need to agree to the fact that the act is a condemnable one.
What if they were coming out peacefully and then they were attacked?
Peacefully? Maybe you didn't see the video. I will still say is taking laws into your hand doesn't.
What if the video you saw was from the part that they started recording?
This doesn't solve the problem. At the end of the day, we'll still come to a round table. That's what I'm saying. The leadership of the market should have done the right thing.
Because probably these people must have been looking at round tables all the time and they refuse.
You are only guessing. You are guessing. You are not sure. You don't have the facts. But the fact is that taking laws into your hand is not the right thing.
So self-defense is taking laws into their hand.
Was violence involved? This is not self-defense now. You will only tell me self-defense if maybe someone is coming to you with machete and the likes of them. Then you can talk about self. This is multiple tax. Did they say they beat them? No. Did they say they were killing them? No.
Multiple taxation.
Yes.
Is it
not
enough to take away somebody's life?
Okay, is it enough for you to carry machete and whatever? No, we don't support that here.
I'm not supporting whatever. I'm only telling you that the self-defense is enough for them.
No, if you say it's self-defense, it seems as if they came with cutlass and whatever. Now these guys are saying no, we can't take it. Let's go. No.
Well, we'll dig more into this.
Now you are talking.
Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, a nightmare persists. Motorists demand alternative routes. I don't know what is causing delays to that road. Page 4 and 5 still has more details to that story. And finally, Ekiti Speaker dies of cardiac arrest. Governor mourns. Wow, that's a very sad one. Cardiac arrest. Page 8 of the Punch newspaper has more details to that story. We want to say thank you for joining us for newspaper review this beautiful 20th of October 2022. And like Eze have said, for those of you who are going to be participating in the memorial of the NSAS protest, please be careful and be law abiding. Be law abiding and be careful of what you do out there. All right, do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. Follow and like our page on Facebook at Broad Radio NG. Join the conversations on our Instagram and Twitter handles at Broad Rad. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Broad Radio NG on YouTube, and our website is www.broadstreetradio.com. You could also reach out to us via WhatsApp on 0809-791-0074. And for sponsorship and advert placement on Broad Street Radio, the numbers to call are 0809-791-0073 or 0803-436-1400. You could also send a mail to hello@broadstreetradio.com, or you visit our office at 195 Ikorodu Road by Palm Grove Bus Stop. Uni Brown House is the building. And in case you are yet to download Broad Street Radio mobile app, please do so by visiting your Google Play Store for Android phone users and the Apple App Store for Apple phone users. Do have a wonderful day ahead.